The microtransaction rebellion. That's right, gentlemen. This is the new revolutionary war. We're in it. It's working.
Welcome back to the Roundup. Today I have got great stories for you. There has been a fairly major player backlash and victory against just the sort of BS monetization that we very much dislike. We have interesting news from Ubisoft's actually pretty damn hyped Call of Duty competitor, but one that actually stems from them taking a pretty damn big L, and a whole bunch more. It's going to be fun, of course. I'm here every day with this show, so be sure to subscribe. With that said, first, the microtransaction loss. Dying Light players have rebelled, as can be seen by this juicy thing on Steam, which is a shame. It's a mostly positively...
Holy shit. God damn. Well, clearly something happened in the last few days. That's what this says. Yeah, I could say that.
Received game. It's always bad when this kind of thing happens. So here's the deal. They added microtransactions, but well, there was always...
I am not going to look at a rating on a website and say that that is working. I want to see the numbers, because you've got a lot of Malders that are mad about stuff. And then you have something like Diablo Immortal that turns out to be making millions of dollars a day. People love to talk, but there's a lot of people that don't listen. And they're the ones buying the microtransactions.
DLC. It was there in Dying Light 1. It was actually one of the more consistent things of the game that there would be. A consistent tide of new features, things to do for the game at usually reasonable prices, and people were okay with it. It's like, hey, we want more, I'll pay you for more. That's how it should be.
Imagine.
Now, that is why the Steam page for Dying Light 2 looks like, looks like this. We've got...
Ooh, we got another Destiny situation. Oh my god. I mean, to be fair though, guys, you put all this together and like, how much money is this? It's like, what, 80 bucks? Like 70 bucks? 60 bucks? It's really not that much money. A lot of these are like fucking $2.49. All these are free. So it's like, I don't really know how much this really is.
Many different packs, right? So that's there. It's not perfect monetization, but hey, look, it's Techland. They're comparatively AA in the industry, even though, like, yeah, they did get acquired by Tencent.
So
and this is kind of understandable from the perspective.
No,
Want to keep the lights on, you know, you sell Dying Light 2. Okay, let's try and get a little bit more long tail from that product. But that's not the topic of the story, actually, because it's not this that the rebellion seems to be against. This is actually Techland managing to fumble the ball pretty damn hard. People ended up being a bit frustrated. They can't just buy the DLC in the game. Why could they not have an option to buy the DLC in the game? So Techland obliged by adding a premium currency so that they wouldn't have to deal with currency conversions in-game. They built bundles and sets so people could have easier purchases, and everybody got 500 of these digital currency points, DL points, to start.
I say this a lot, and I'll say it again. I think that it would just be better for everybody if premium currencies were actually illegal. Premium currencies exist for the sole purpose to mislead the customer on how much money they're spending. And my hot take is that a practice that solely exists to mislead a customer and make them spend more money and manipulate them into spending money that they didn't understand. I think this is not proper sales. It's not good business. It's manipulative, and it should be regulated.
Start with, right? And I mean, you can see where this is going, because somebody at Techland read the standard sales template for how you do a premium currency, where it's sold in packs of 500, 1100, 3600, 6500 with, you know.
Yeah, you need to buy it. So like there's an item here that's for 1,150, and then there's another item that's for 2,500. Then there's an item for 4,000, and then there's another really big item for 7,100. Because, like, if you don't buy more packs, like, you're basically losing money at that point, you know?
A better deal, bonus value, extra free, the more ones that you get, right?
Yeah, of course.
Now, the cheapest items in the store were matching the original costs on Steam at 300 points. But, of course, what do you do with your remaining 200 points? Well, you better go buy some
more. I mean, like, you should might as well buy another pack and then buy something else. Because if you don't spend $20, you're wasting $2. So, like, the only smart thing to do is to waste $22.
And now we're back to the ubiquitous problem of these things and the way that they do not actually benefit the consumer, because you're almost always forced to buy more of the currency than you need and just have a few hundred sitting there, spare. It's almost the way that it's like you think about the amount of money people have gotten their Starbucks cards. It's like, will they redeem that money? Will they not? Starbucks is just sitting in all of this special fake money. What's going to happen? We don't like that. Now,
they have an actuarial table that always ends up being in the benefit of Starbucks. That's why they made the table.
They've been review bombed, right? That's what happened, right? That's what's happened. That's what's in the picture here. The review bomb. Now, they've basically said, listen, the currency's there to stay, but they are working some proposed solutions like buying individual cosmetics at lower prices, that kind of thing. It's very messy, very bizarre, a needless sell, and it's really hilarious because you just buy the bloody DLC for exactly what it's meant to cost on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, anywhere. Bizarre. Now for the win, though. RuneScape. It's had its pay.
This was a big W. As I said, I didn't expect them. I expected them to do... I thought this was an unfortunate corpo move by RuneScape, that they were anchoring the players' expectation around something very bad, and they would reduce it to something that was simply bad. But the truth is that RuneScape peeled back this entire thing. They apologized for it wholesale. They completely stopped the Battle Pass, and they offered refunds to all of the people that have already bought it.
To win Battle Pass be patched because players said no. We messed up. The launch of Hero Pass alienated and frustrated many in the community. You've told us, amongst other things, that it was too pay to win and you'd lost important aspects of daily challenges.
I hope he uses the example Wayfinder fucked up like this too, and they did the same thing.
That is the opening words of RuneScape's latest blog post after a week of utter chaos. Multiple emails landed in my inbox from our viewers. Thank you. Yeah, man. Oh boy. This was something. So essentially, they introduced a new...
I also want to say, like, real quick, remember what I was telling you guys about how, like, first impressions? People said Waitfinder and Qfinder in chat. That's why first impressions matter so much. People don't like changing their mind. I've logged on Wayfinder multiple times recently, and I've never been in the queue. It doesn't matter, though.
New monetization method called the Hero Pass. It was introduced at the end of August as an always-on reward system. Oh, yeah. That would effectively give a 3-month battle pass for players to work towards by just playing the game, except there was the Premier option. Oh, yes. Oh, lovely. Premier that you either got through your sub to the game or that you could just buy as a pass in the game. And this also replaced the old previous reward system of daily challenges and the things people have been working towards. It had all the expected elements here, right? Your dailies, your weeklies, your rewards earned by play, but it had constant buffs. Increases to activation chance on skills or XP.
Bro, I think they gave you buffs for the hardest content in the game. It's like you could buy a world buff, basically, for like a classic WoW raid. Like, it was insane. It was really, really bad.
Buffs. With these being short-term player-activated boosts, where you could get more in the premium track, which of course you could just buy some skips for. Put all that together, and you do see the Steam charts impact, right? 742 reviews in this few-day period, with most of them being negative. I would say, though, like, I don't think most people play RuneScape through Steam, so this probably was felt like quite a bit more, amongst the community.
Yeah, the RuneScape community is extremely tight. So, yeah, and I think that was great. Good for them.
they don't have the game on, on the Steam platform. Now, there's really two camps here. Number one, the pay-to-win boost is just way too much, and that it's pushing another level of monetization on a subscription-given game, and that is too much. The reviews of this were pretty damn bad. Content creators, everyone talking about it, which of course then means, if you make enough videos about a dramatic topic, eventually the attention, someone will post it to r/Asmongold, and then he will see it.
And then I will make a 45-minute video, and only the first 7 minutes of the video are about the post. The other 38 minutes are about something.
Which will get a lot of eyeballs on the situation, but also the biggest problem here for Jagex is posts like this. I just cancelled membership for all of my accounts. My main nearly has the 20-year cape and 120 in every skill, and I cancelled memberships for that account on my alts this morning. That is a pretty damn brutal thing.
Putting your dick on the table saying, listen,
what is
bitch,
the lifetime value of that customer who has multiple accounts? You don't want to mess with that. It's a winning formula. 9 days then after this all caught on, Jagex basically relented and stuff. They're pulling away the biggest pain point of pay-to-win elements as soon as is feasibly possible. Some's already live. So, content buffs are gone entirely. Tier purchases are disabled. They've shifted the XP buffs to be earned via gameplay, and they're only on the free track. They've reworked rewards for the Premier Pass to only be cosmetics and consumables, and they've refunded anyone who bought the pass and wants their money back. Plus, they'll be...
Yeah, I mean, how could this possibly be any better, right? I mean, if you have a time machine, go back in time, don't do it. Yeah, sure. But, like, other than that, I think this is the best way they could do it. Yeah, it's great. The big W.
Be bringing back the older daily challenge model so that people won't need to engage with this lovely new retention system that's here in the form of the Hero Pass. They're also framing all of this as interim fixes with more to come, and they say they're very confident they can make this work for players, though as they put it, but with a redesign that the community can support. Now this...
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think that like I am not a based battle pass hater. I've never had that mindset. So it's like, I don't mind battle passes at all. I just think that sometimes they can be a bit much.
This is all interestingly timed because, as Reuters is reporting, Jagex is currently being considered for sale for $1 billion from its owner, investment firm Carlyle, which I mean maybe suggests that there might be some balance sheet boosting initiatives going on to justify those costs.
That's
so
probably
the corporate investment firm can get a nice sale. And of course, this is because they allegedly only bought the company for $530 million in 2021.
Jesus.
So yeah, imagine how many Lambos that's going to be. Buy in 2021, do a bunch of things to get that perceived value up, and there you go. You just made half a bill. Happy.
Yep.
Don't you love it when gaming companies are earned by investment firm Carlyle?
Yeah,
Very
the Carlyle
cool.
Group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ubisoft's X-Defiant may be sharing too much. This is interesting. How much info could be too much? Because we never really had a release date for X-Defiant, which is Ubisoft's attempt to make Call of Duty that I suppose is still very much the kind of movement shooter that a certain generation of Call of Duty gamers like. And here's the deal. X-Defiant is really well received. Like, it had issues like earlier on, but through their successive tests, fair play to them. They've legitimately listened and done really, really damn good work with their game, to the point now where people are very excited about it. And when those betas happen, like...
This gameplay doesn't look that bad. Yeah, this is okay.
It even, it does get the numbers on Twitch. It does get the players. But, well...
Does it? How many people are watching X-Defiant? Let me see. Oh, it's not out yet? Oh, okay. I didn't understand that. Never mind.
We've actually found out from director Mark Rubin that they failed console certification on both Xbox and PlayStation as of July. Yeah, and he said, like, hey, we're open with the community, we'll just say anything. And they really will. I don't think it's normal to
tell
toot
people
the horn
that,
of we failed certification, but I mean, there you go.
It's a pretty big fuck up. Yeah,
that's kind of funny. They had initially submitted to the console manufacturers at that point, but
keep in mind Gollum passed certification.
There was enough issues that their August target couldn't be met, and this is actually a fairly normal thing.
Yeah.
Fact is, we just don't really hear about it that often, so it's kind of weird. But I mean, it is part of this whole, hey, we tell the community everything. And as much as some people may be rolling their eyes at this, or may be confused, or laugh at it, I suppose, as I initially did, point is, people are now thinking like, oh, damn, they didn't get certification. They're going to try again to get the game to us. And I suppose you could say it creates that fairly organic feeling story within the community, because your game failing certification is not a savvy business move, I suppose.
Yeah.
Some, victory in the jaws of defeat. So in reality, then, closer to the end of October will be more likely here. And I mean, hey, it's not like we have basically the launch month of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 happening anyway in the month of October. Another interesting thing then, a developer of one of the most streamed games of the year has pulled it from sale. Yeah, Only Up was a bit of a sleeper hit, actually. A very personal game that's a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk as a platformer where players try to climb a random assortment of floating objects to get to the top of the map. But the catch here is...
Hey, yo, like, that shit that they did with that rainbow thing at the top, like, that was out of pocket and it didn't need to happen. Like, whenever that shit happened to me, I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm done. No, I'm not going back up there. Nope. Nope.
There's no save points. You have to do the whole thing in one go. And that's inspired by Getting Over It with Benny Foddy, which, of course, is this ridiculous-looking, crazy game of, the man in the pot who's got to do the climbing. I mean, there's so many stream clips of that game, right?
Yeah.
But look, it was rough, rudimentary, janky. This kind of combination that meant that people absolutely loved it.
I think people loved it. And then also, like, this game, one of the things that really sold this game a lot is the fact that it was very popular on Twitch and on YouTube. So people saw, like, a streamer falling off, and they're like, haha, stupid Baldy, I can do it better. And so then they would buy the game. Yeah, I think this is primarily a streamer game. They got sued for copyright. Is that confirmed? Because I don't think that's confirmed. Let me look it up right now. Only Up sued for copyright. Okay, so let's look it up. Only Up has been removed from the Steam store. So it looks like there's no information about this. Only Up has been removed from the Steam store. Renamed on the Steam store $1. Clock Simulator. I mean, oh, this is my Reddit. I didn't even notice that. Only Up pulled from Steam store. Jesus, Sky. Holy, how many pop-ups are there? Was accused of copyright infringement, but the reason it disappeared from Steam is unknown. So we have a fan fiction writer in the chat. We have a person who is making up things that aren't true. That is spreading information that is inaccurate. Huh. Thank you for that.
Increased visibility and sales as people hopped onto it. You can see here all reviews mostly positive. 13,000 reviews. I mean, even if you're dealing with like 30 to 40 purchases per review, like that is a really nice result for that developer. But with the latest update, it's been pulled from sale entirely because the developers decided he can no longer commit to developing it further, and he doesn't want to have it hang around as his legacy. I'm a solo developer, and this game is my first experience in game dev, a game I did for creativity to test myself and where I made a lot of mistakes. The game has kept me under a lot of stress all these months. Now I want to put the game behind me. Yes, the game won't be available in the Steam store soon. That's what I decided myself. Kind of interesting. So the stress of post-launch support is absolutely real.
I think it's also like somebody makes a game and then they have like 100,000 people playing the game and people are sending them messages like, I really love your game, and somebody else is like, I hate your game, like, fuck you for making the dragon like this. Like, I think it just messes with people's head. Straight up, I think it just messes with their head. Like, yeah, Flappy Bird is the best comparison to this.
And I mean, damn. there we have it. I suppose positive ending, though. This is not the end of their game dev journey. Their next title, Kith, is being worked on after they get some peace of mind and healing, and also with a focus on cinematography, and hope they can work with a new team. So suppose this could be the start of an interesting to watch career. But yeah, just goes to show how these things sometimes shake out. Like, you wouldn't expect that to happen. You think it's the biggest win and, big win, but not always.
Oh, I didn't notice.
And you can see here with the gameplay, by the way, like, fairly simple, climbing up pipes and that kind of thing to get as high as you can go. So, an interesting situation. I'd like to know what what you think about this one. I suppose it's one of those things, like, when you buy a game, treat it, you're buying it as is.
I think also, like, a lot of people were, like, super critical about this game, and they said this game's just such a piece of shit. All it is just, like, reused assets. So, like, a lot of people, you got to keep in mind, like, a lot of people aren't really, like, built to withstand that much of, like, direct public criticism and hate. Like, everybody says, oh, I could handle it, when you're not handling it, right? And so I think that a lot of people are just simply not.
Soon after you buy it, you could get the last update. So always try to be, be sure that whenever you're buying a game, like, you're okay that that's the game that you're getting. Ultimately, though, if this was a rough around the edges but mostly complete experience, then I suppose it's not really much harm done. An interesting one.
Yeah, it was a good game.
And finally, then, this is weird, but Roblox is expanding to PS5, right? And it's kind of weird because it's getting 17 plus only experiences and a lot more development. Their ambitions are...
Yeah, I really don't like the whole Roblox dating thing. I think that's really weird. I wish they wouldn't do that. I think there's too many kids that use the game. Yeah,
kind of big. They want to be games. Their CEO detailed 10 things he wants to happen to Roblox over the next 5 years. Number one, a Fortune 500
FBI,
company will use a Roblox experience as a
now.
part of their recruiting process. A school will integrate a full K-12 curriculum with Roblox.
We got 'em.
For 17 plus verified people. 17 plus experiences. Thousands of adults will meet for the first time in Roblox dating experiences and will subsequently form real-life relationships. Roblox employees will spend more time using Roblox for remote meetings than with video. I mean, hey, that's probably guaranteed to be more successful than whatever the hell the Zuck's attempt was. They'll have a universal civility metric that will show for most players an increase over time, which...
Oh, so it's like China. Oh, look at that.
Hey, you can see how that could be good. I also
score.
do think about a particular episode of Black Mirror.
You see, if I was a conspiracy theorist, I would think Roblox was a tool to help children and kids and young people get acclimated to the idea of a social credit score before the government and the deep state implements it into our actual culture and lives. Social credit score isn't a real thing over there? Yeah, maybe that's true, but that doesn't matter because it has nothing to do. Like this conversation is not based off of reality. It's just bullshit.
Some Roblox creators will make money from selling physical merchandise on Roblox rather than virtual merch. It will be a frequent communication channel for the family. A top fashion designer will be discovered on Roblox without having any experience in physical fashion. A musician will perform live to 1 million people using a phone for motion capture. And a Roblox developer will be valued at $1 billion. Again, that's not Roblox. They're valued way more than that. That's a developer. That's like... say us deciding, you know what, screw it, we're not going to make role-playing games like this one anymore. We're going to make Roblox games, and somehow in the next 10 years or 5 years, yeah, 5, being worth $1 billion. Do you think any of that will happen? Yay or nay?
I'm glad to see him trying. I think it's cool that they're trying to do something crazy like that, and I think always, this is the same thing I said with Mark Zuckerberg and his metaverse. I want to see him take it all the way. I want to see what's going to happen. Yeah.
How many of the 10 do you think? I would love to hear. But anyway, that's it for today's episode. You got to check out yesterday's on the crazy Unity situation. Oh my god, it is insane. I will be back tomorrow. Be sure to subscribe for that. I'll see you over there.
I'm glad I watched this. The microtransaction stuff, I think that a lot of players... I think battle passes are going in the direction of streaming memberships. Whenever it was like back in the day, you would just get Netflix and that was it, right? But now you've got like all these other things you've got going on these other games and shit, or sorry, these other services, and like now you're paying the same amount of money that you'd pay for cable in the first place, right? Because you've got like all these different streaming services. How many of you guys have more than 2 streaming services that you're subscribed to? 0, Pirate Bay, me, Netflix, and Crunchyroll. Okay, 4 or 5. There's a lot of people that have a lot, man. Nope, I pirate everything. I think that a lot of people, going back to the Gavin quote, piracy is an issue of distribution. I don't think that's always true, but in the case of Netflix, I do think it's true. Like, for example, Spotify turned me away from piracy because of how great the service is. This is just a massive improvement over the Pirate Bay. It is. It's way better. And the truth is that, like, a lot of people felt that way about Netflix. Like, it gets easier. You don't have to worry about a download. You don't have to worry about, like, you know, it's like a 0.1% chance risk or anything like that. So, were you including Spotify and streaming? I wasn't, but sure. I mean, you can do that too. But Nintendo 2 with old games? Yeah. And so, like, I think that a lot of cases, people wouldn't mind paying money for a service, but whenever they're asked to pay for an amount that's unreasonable, especially whenever you're paying for like 4 different services because you want to watch 4 different shows, it feels very bad. So yeah, I mean, I think that battle passes are kind of going in the same way, that like every game has battle passes now. And I am not a battle pass hater, okay? I'm not a based battle pass hater. I think battle passes are fine. However, I think that whenever you ask people to like pay money for a battle pass, and every game is asking you to pay money for a battle pass, exploiting something. So there are 2 cases where exploitation can happen. The first case is whenever something is done that is like basically like you're taking a necessary thing, like for example insulin or bread, and you're raising the price on it to like a massive amount to where like people can't pay it but they still have to pay it, right? So like that's exploitative. And then the other thing that's exploitative is whenever something is marketed as one thing and then it's something different. I think that if you're not doing false marketing and the person knows what they're buying and they're not like kind of physically obligated to buy it, like insulin, for example, I don't think that you can say something's exploitative. And I think that you do a disservice to those words like exploitative, predatory. You do a disservice to them whenever you use them on anything that you dislike. In the same way that I think people did a disservice on the word Nazi whenever they referred to anybody who was like conservative or right wing as a Nazi. Because now you have actual people that are like kind of like actual Nazis, and like they've muddied the water so much people don't take it seriously anymore. So I don't agree with that language. I think it's a bad idea, but I do think that battle passes can be annoying. And whenever every game has a battle pass, at that point, people just get fatigued. Battle pass fatigue. That's what I think has happened.